Welcome to Learn and Success. If you want to improve your English, grow your skills, and become more confident in life, you're in the right place. Here, you'll find simple lessons, clear explanations, and stories that keep you learning every day.
Hit subscribe and join the community. Your journey to success starts here.
Okay, let's unpack this because I think it's a common, just a soul-crushing frustration for so many people.
Oh, absolutely.
You commit time, real dedicated time to learning new English vocabulary today.
You've got the flashcards, maybe you wrote the word down 10 times. You feel like you're making progress.
Exactly. You feel good about it.
Yeah.
And yet, the next morning, what happened?
It's gone. Just vanished.
Like it was never even there. And you start to think, what's wrong with me?
Right. It's the linguistic equivalent of running on a treadmill. You're putting in so much energy, but you're not actually moving forward.
And you blame yourself. You think, I must just be bad at English.
But our source material makes a really specific claim here. It says the frustration, it doesn't come from being slow, but from using the wrong techniques.
You're just learning words the wrong way.
That's it. So if you're nodding along right now, this deep dive is specifically for you.
We're diving into a smart, simple system. This isn't just theory. It's a blueprint designed to turn that entire frustrating experience around.
Right. We want to make sure that the effort you put in actually equals retention.
So our mission today is to really extract the core of this strategy.
Yeah.
It's a vocabulary system that's so structured, it takes just 5 days to permanently integrate a new word.
And we're moving completely past the boring grammar textbooks, the endless lists. This is about applying, cognitive science to how you learn a language.
The ultimate goal here, the big takeaway, is to finally move past that phrase, I learned this word before, but I can't remember it now.
We want to get you into that zone where the words feel effortless, like you own them.
And to do that, you have to start with a pretty fundamental philosophical shift.
A huge one.
It's a foundational shift away from that traditional model of just, rote memorization and cramming.
Our sources are really clear on this. Vocabulary retention is not achieved by trying to hit some maximum word count.
It's achieved by making words a real, living, breathing part of your life, not just some bit of data stored in a dusty corner of your brain.
And if we accept that words have to be integrated, not just stored, then we have to talk about the common mistakes that sabotage that process.
We have to know what habits to stop right now.
Let's start with the biggest one, the most paralyzing one, really.
Waiting for perfect grammar before you even dare to speak or use a new word.
That waiting period is just deadly for progress. Your brain gets stuck in this high-stress, internal translation mode.
You're just translating back and forth in your head. It's exhausting.
It is. And it connects directly to the second big mistake, learning words without sentences, without any personal context.
So you just memorize that a word means X, but you never see it used. Your brain kind of files it away as a theoretical concept, not a tool. Exactly.
And then there's the overload problem, trying to conquer 50 new words a day.
You're just guaranteeing you'll forget them.
Precisely. Surface level exposure is the enemy of deep learning. You also have to, and this is important, actively stop being afraid of making mistakes.
Mistakes are just data points, right? They're not failures.
They tell you where to adjust your aim. And crucially, you have to stop comparing yourself to other people. Your pace is your pace.
Sustained engagement is what matters, not speed.
And this whole list of mistakes, it all feeds into this one core principle we really need to embrace.
The key insight that's like the antidote to all that information overload.
And it's so simple, but it's powerful. 5 words learned deeply are exponentially better than 50 forgotten words.
Quality over quantity.
Completely. Once you internalize that, the panic to learn everything instantly it dissipates.
Okay, so if the philosophy is quality over quantity, how do we actually do that? We need a system.
Right. A system that forces that deep integration. And that brings us to the core technique in the sources. The 5-day word system.
It's structured specifically to move a word from your short-term memory into your long-term, ready-to-use vocabulary.
And it works because it forces the word through multiple cognitive pathways. It's not just one interaction, it's 5 separate ones.
Let's walk through it. What's day 1?
Day 1, meet the word. And this is where the physical aspect comes in. It's not about writing down the definition.
It's more sensory, you said.
Exactly. Saying it, hearing it, and feeling it. The example they give is perfect.
Yeah.
If the word is happy, you should literally, physically smile when you say it.
So you're creating a physical anchor for the word.
Yes. Memory is multimodal. If you only use your eyes to read it, the memory trace is thin, it's easily broken. But if you link it to a physical expression, a smile, a frown, you thicken that trace. You give the word a physical footprint in your brain.
Okay, that makes sense. So what about day 2?
Day 2, use the word. This is practical and it's highly personal.
The task is to create 3 simple sentences,
Yeah,
but they have to be about your life.
that's the key. So if the word is enthusiastic, your sentence isn't the teacher was enthusiastic.
It's I feel enthusiastic about drinking my morning coffee.
Exactly. Personal relevance is rocket fuel for memory. The brain sees it as important data, something worth keeping. It becomes a tool, not an abstract idea.
So on day 2, should the sentence be complex? Or should we keep it simple?
Oh, keep it simple. The goal isn't grammatical perfection, it's usage, it's relevance. You're just connecting the word to your reality.
Got it. Then on day 3, things get a little more creative.
Yeah, day 3 is play with the word.
The instruction is to make a funny or absurd or just a really silly sentence.
This creates a huge emotional spike. Humor, surprise, absurdity. They get the brain's attention.
So if you imagine yourself being so enthusiastic you start singing your coffee order, that image is going to stick.
It absolutely will. That emotional spike involves the hippocampus, which is basically the brain's librarian.
Yeah.
When you laugh or you're shocked by your own silly sentence, the hippocampus stamps that information for long-term storage. It says, okay, this is important, lock it down.
That's a powerful memory trick built right into the system.
Yeah.
What's next? Day 4.
Day 4, connect the word. Your brain hates isolated data points. It loves connections.
So the task here is integration, linking the new word to similar words you already know.
Yes, you're building a lexical network. You're not just learning one word. You're anchoring it to a dozen concepts you already own. So if you learn resilient, you connect it to strong, flexible, recover.
You're defining its conceptual neighborhood, so to speak.
That's a great way to put it.
So for this, should you just use words that pop into your head, or is it okay to grab a thesaurus?
Ideally, it should be spontaneous at first, whatever immediately comes to mind. If you're stuck, a quick search for synonyms is okay, but the focus has to be on linking it to words you already use.
And not just adding 5 more new words to the list.
Right. It's about making the new word feel natural in your current linguistic ecosystem.
And that all leads to the final day, day 5.
Day 5, own the word. The goal is simple. Use it naturally, without conscious effort.
In your head, in a conversation, in a text message?
The word should feel completely integrated. No more translating, just deployment.
So this whole 5-day sequence, it's like a structured, accelerated way of how kids learn language naturally.
That's it, exactly. You're forcing the word through the physical, the personal, the emotional, and the contextual pathways. It really is the shortcut to building permanent vocabulary.
Okay, so that's the microsystem for learning individual words. But to make it work consistently, you need a bigger routine.
An overall routine that supports this kind of integration.
Which brings us to what the source material calls Smart English for Life. And the headline here is fantastic. It's a structured routine that's only 20 minutes a day.
But, and this is the key, it's described as being more powerful than hours of traditional unstructured study.
Because it's about consistency and targeted focus. 20 minutes is achievable, right?
It fits into any schedule. And we can break this 20-minute daily system down into 4 clear, really actionable steps.
Let's start with the morning. Step 1. Morning English Mind. 5 minutes.
This is all about priming your brain. The instructions are very specific.
Every morning, before you check your phone, before the stress hits, you stand in front of a mirror.
Take 3 deep breaths and then repeat 3 affirmations. Today I think in English, today I am confident, and today I speak well.
Now, I know some people might think that sounds a little self-helpy.
It might, but there's a real psychological basis here. You're setting an intention, you're controlling your emotional state, which is one of those core principles. It reduces the anxiety around the language.
And then for the last 2 minutes of that 5, you just talk.
You describe yourself, how you're feeling, your immediate surroundings. And crucially, don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. You are literally warming up your English brain.
Okay, then we move to the biggest chunk of time, step 2. Daily English time, 10 minutes.
And the key idea here is that English should feel natural, integrated, not special or stressful.
So you're mixing English into your normal life activity.
Yes. Don't block out a stressful hour of studying. Instead, listen to a 5-minute English news clip while you make tea. Or read a short article at lunch. Watch a short video with subtitles.
You're turning your environment into your constant English teacher.
Exactly. The moment it becomes a task, you start avoiding it. By integrating it into habits you already have, walking, eating, waiting, you ensure consistency.
Then in the evening, we have step 3, evening English practice, just 3 minutes.
And this has a simple, firm rule. Before dinner, you must talk about one thing that happened during the day in English.
And the technique here matters, doesn't it?
It does. You speak slowly at first, focusing on accuracy, then you repeat it normally. And you use your hands, your facial expressions. That physical engagement locks the memory down.
Like day 1 of the 5-day system.
Precisely. And the example is perfect because it's simple and emotion-driven. Today I felt happy because I understood an English song. You're reflecting on your day in the target language.
It's a tool for personal expression, not just a subject to study.
Yes. And finally, as the day closes, we have step 4, night English learning. This is 2 minutes plus sleep.
Leveraging the idea of continuous learning.
First, a rapid 2-minute review. You write down 3 words or phrases you heard that day.
From a video, a song, whatever.
Say them out loud once, and that's it. It's a fast final review loop.
Okay, but then there's the other part. Playing soft English audio while you sleep. I know that sounds a bit out there. What's the justification?
It's not about learning complex grammar while you're unconscious. It's about maintaining environmental exposure.
So the brain is still active.
The brain is still active during sleep, and this continuous passive audio helps maintain familiarity with the rhythm and the intonation of the language. It just reinforces the patterns you learn during the day.
So it's basically a 24-hour immersion with only 20 minutes of actual conscious effort.
That's a brilliant way to put it.
Now, a system only works if you commit. And the sources strongly recommend committing to this Smart English for Life system for at least 30 days.
And this is where the motivation becomes concrete. The benefits aren't arbitrary, they are predictable, and they build on each other.
So by week 1, the biggest change you'll notice is what? Confidence.
Confidence. Simply by following a structured, proactive routine, you eliminate the anxiety of not knowing what to do next.
And by week 2,
The system starts to pay off cognitively. You'll catch yourself spontaneously thinking in English sometimes. That inner monologue just switches over.
week 3 is the breakthrough in comprehension.
Your recognition just accelerates. You'll notice it watching movies, listening to songs. Things will just start to click.
And by week 4, the change becomes external. Other people start to notice.
Exactly. Colleagues, friends, they'll notice your comfort, your fluency, your overall confidence.
And there's a great accountability tip in the source material.
The recording, yes.
Record yourself speaking every week, just a 30-second clip. After 1 month, listen back to that very first recording.
The progress you hear will genuinely surprise you. It's a practical application of what the sources call the 7-day brain revolution, a complete shift in mindset.
We've covered the core ideas. Stop translating, forget perfect grammar, control your emotions.
Transform your environment, learn while you sleep. All of these philosophical shifts empower that 20-minute daily routine.
It's about treating language learning like a skill set based on, cognitive science and confidence, not like a subject you have to pass in school.
And that brings us to the high-level summary. We just want to reinforce this belief that your English brain is stronger than you think. The capacity for fluency is already there.
It just needed the right structure to flourish.
A structure based on deep personal integration.
Because learning English is about so much more than just vocabulary and grammar. It's about confidence, it's about opportunities, it's about growth.
And there will be hard days. There will be moments when words still disappear.
But now you have a system to rely on. And you have to remind yourself that every single fluent speaker started exactly where you are now, facing that same wall of frustration.
You have the tools. You understand the system, the philosophy of deep integration over surface-level memorization. The effort you put in today, structured across those 5 days, guarantees retention tomorrow.
The journey starts now. Keep practicing, keep believing, and most importantly, keep speaking. Think smart. Learn daily. Succeed globally.
And for you, the listener, here's the final thought to carry with you today. If you commit fully to this 5-day word system this week, how will your sense of confidence change when you realize that 5 words you learned on Monday are still effortlessly